So we use this simple pulse milk machine for milking our dairy goats, and we really do love it. But it uses a 1 gallon jar here to put the milk into, and unfortunately we broke that yesterday. Here's the lid for it where the tubes connect, and it's a specialty lid. It's not like a standard wide mouth mason jar lid. So we're going to see if we can get something rigged together here to make this work. We're really looking for some type of stainless steel container to go to. Glass out here on the milk stand just isn't the best idea in the first place, but we'll see if we can get something working temporarily here. So you just have some little threaded elbows threaded on one end, barb on the other. Just a little bulkhead type fitting to go into the jar. Just see what these holes are, replicate that in our wide mouth mason jar lid, and we should be good to go. Make this work. Just has a little garden hose type seal here to hold the vacuum. Hole size a little too big, I think, but hopefully it'll last us a couple days. All right, who's first? Excited. Cookie's ready to get on the milk stand. Got some eggs under there, and she's ready to fight for them. Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah, good girl for protecting your eggs.
We picked up 10 egg layers today from the post office, and we want to tell you why chickens are the homesteader's best friend. Today we're going to show you how to start a small flock on your homestead.
5 to 10 chickens is perfect for the small homestead. Today we are going to show you how we receive and set up for a small flock on your homestead from the hatchery. Now, if you didn't want to use a hatchery, you could also incubate your own eggs, which we could cover in another video if that's something you're interested in. We do incubate our own eggs here on the homestead as well. But the chicks that we're going to show you today in this setup, they came from a hatchery. So the first step in starting your own flock on your homestead is ordering from a hatchery. You want to also go ahead and get your brooder set up prior to picking up your one-day-old chicks from the post office. You want to be ready so when you get home from the post office, you can immediately get your chicks into the brooder and reduce their stress level as much as possible. So now I'm going to show you the equipment that you need to set up a brooder and prepare for your baby chicks. We use these big rubber containers from Tractor Supply. We like the shape of them. They're not a square or rectangle. I would highly recommend not using any kind of tub that's a rectangle or square, because the baby chicks like to congregate in the corners and they pile up on one another, and they can injure each other, or they can smother each other. So try to use a container like this that's round or oval. Other than the container, the heat lamp is another piece of equipment that you are going to need. You want to keep your chicks at 95 degrees the first week of life, and you're going to decrease by 5 degrees every week after until they're fully feathered and ready to go out to pasture. You also need some type of bedding. We just use some cut hay from our pasture. Anything like this will work. You can use shavings from Tractor Supply. Just make sure they're not cedar. Cedar shavings can be irritating to the chicken's respiratory system, so I would just use something else other than cedar. You do not want any flat, slick surfaces for your baby chicks. The next thing you're going to need is a way to feed and water your baby chicks. This is a 1 quart water jug that we like for 5 to 10 chicks. This is my favorite feeder on the farm, mainly because it's glass and it's not plastic. This is perfect for 5 to 10 chicks. If you have bigger chicks that are older, or you have more, let's say you wanted to start with 25 egg layers or 50, you would need a bigger setup for your water and your food. And these are perfect for that. This is a gallon, and this is just for more food. This is another type of way to feed your chicks. I do not recommend this. The chickens like to hop and jump on it. They poop on it, and it just gets nasty, and it also wastes feed. So I would definitely stick with something like this or the mason jar feeder. So these are not requirements for your 1-day-old chicks, but they do help them get off to a better start. So I like to add apple cider vinegar to their water, and I like to add oregano oil to their water. I use 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and 1 drop of oregano essential oil in 1 gallon. To emulsify the oil in the liquid into the water, you need to use something such as this so it mixes better and the oil doesn't sit on top of the water. This is just vegetable glycerin. It's food grade, non-GMO. So I will add 1 drop of oregano oil to about 1/4 cup of this, mix it together, and then add that to the 1 gallon of water. To their food, again, not a requirement, but I like to use these herbs. I use this from Fur Meadows. It's called GI Soother for my baby chicks, and it is just a combination, a blend of different organic herbs for the chickens to make sure they stay healthy. That's all. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and leave any questions or comments you have. We'll be glad to help. We want to see more people homesteading. Until next time, happy homesteading. If you heard any of the little sound effects, that was her. You want to be a chicken farmer? You learning to be a chicken farmer?
Got one?
Roll it down the hill.
I don't know, it might break if you roll it down the hill. That worked out, didn't it?
Ow, I gotta shake my shoes out.